All right, I think we're ready to get started for the deep dive this morning. Welcome if you're joining us. It's the 15th of November, halfway through November, getting into the holidays next week. And, just weeks after that, kind of the countdown towards the end of the year is upon us. So grateful to have everybody on the deep dive that joins us. Good to be back this week. Kate was with the deep dive last week doing a market forecast for next year. If you saw the update, we're going to talk about prices, and I want to talk about prices because we're going to hear more about prices, rising prices. And as we're together with people during the holidays, no doubt prices will come up. I talked a couple of weeks ago about, is this market going to crash? If you haven't seen that one, go in the member area, go find that one, go to YouTube and find that one. Because I think as we talk to people, as we interact with people towards the end of the year, there are going to be a lot of questions that come up about real estate. And the one that I certainly want to talk about this morning, do a deep dive on, is price appreciation. We've followed this for several, months, iterations over the last year. Just where are prices in the real estate market? We've seen a tremendous amount of appreciation across the country. But I'm going to give you the latest update with some graphics on pricing, and I'll start and share my screen here with this graphic. You're familiar with it if you follow the deep dive, you follow Keeping Current Matters. The August 2021 year-over-year house price appreciation. So the latest information out from FHFA, CoreLogic, Case-Shiller, you see there 18.5% price appreciation, 18.1%, 19.7% respectively. And different reporting agencies are coming in with different numbers at different times. They measure different things, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. If you follow Keeping Current Matters on Instagram, we posted a graphic that got a lot of shares, a lot of likes on price acceleration. Now, I'm going to talk about that graphic today because I think there may be a little bit of misunderstanding on that. I want to make sure we clarify that so that you understand what that graphic represents. But no doubt a lot of appreciation, like we've been saying, in residential real estate across the country. So let's go through a little bit of context relative to the appreciation. NAR says this: the median sales price of single family existing homes rose in 99% of 183 measured market areas in the third quarter, with double-digit price gains in 78% of the markets. Again, a lot of appreciation in residential real estate. We'll talk about median sales price in just a minute, but they go from 1 year ago. The median sales price of single family existing homes rose 16% to $363,700, an increase of just over $50,000. So the average sales price, $363,000. Some of you are in markets that maybe are less than that. Some markets that are much higher than that. But the average or the median sales price, $363,000. So median can be misleading. I want to talk about that. We've mentioned it before here, but no doubt what people will hear on the news is the median information. They will hear the median price gain. And that's going to be concerning for some people to say the average home gained in value $50,000 over the last year. Bill McBride says this: median prices can be distorted by the mix. I'll come back to that. And repeat sales indexes like Case-Shiller and the FHFA are more accurate measures of house prices. The Case-Shiller and FHA repeat sales indexes will probably show deceleration in house price growth in the coming months. What's he talking about here? Median price can be distorted because of the shift or in any area of the mix of what's selling. So if we have less homes on the lower end, like right now, that are selling more homes on the higher end, it's going to shift the median price to the higher end. Just be aware of that as you're looking at median price. And as folks that you're talking to say, well, I heard this about the median price, or if there's anything in the news about the median price. But a repeat sales index measures like kind. They measure the same house, and that's a little bit more accurate measure of price growth, like they're talking here. But no doubt across the country, we're seeing more and more price growth this year than we've seen traditionally. Right now, we're down to 3 regions with 20+% price growth. And you can see, depending on where you're at, what that price growth looks like. But no doubt these 3 areas, the Pacific area, the mountain area, South Atlanta, seeing more than 20% price appreciation is concerning. Now, we're going to talk about this and really what experts are saying. I referenced the graphic that we shared on Instagram about deceleration in prices. And you heard Bill McBride say that on his comments, that that's likely what we'll see. So let's break that down. Here's the best graphic I know to show what's happened with house prices this year. Price appreciation has accelerated every month this year. If you remember last year, we started out the year or wound up the year with about 10% price appreciation in residential real estate and said, gosh, that was a lot of appreciation in homes across the country. And this year, appreciation has continued and it's gotten faster every month. We've seen not only are prices rising, but they're rising at a faster rate each month. And you kind of can see that in this graphic here, starting out in 10 January, most recent August, 18.1% appreciation. Now, the graphic that we shared on Instagram, showed that price appreciation appears to have peaked. It's this graphic right here. And I saw a lot of commentary on this. A lot of people shared it. A lot of people looked at that, commented on it. And let's talk about this for a minute. So this is the best look at price acceleration. So meaning, remember, going back to this graphic, price has accelerated each month. And experts looking at this trending, you can confidently say it appears to have peaked. The rate at which home prices are accelerating has peaked. Price appreciation has not peaked. Remember, appreciation is cumulative. If we see, year over year, 18% price appreciation, and next month we see 10, that doesn't mean homes are falling in value. We're just seeing less acceleration in pricing. Something key to keep in mind. So if you're having a conversation with somebody about pricing and they say, you know what, I've seen a lot of appreciation, you can break down for them what's happened this year and the likelihood that price acceleration appears to have peaked, meaning we'll see less appreciation in the market going into the next few months. Maybe not as high as 18% like we saw just a minute ago in the reporting agencies. Maybe we see 15%, 16%, whatever that is, as we see that deceleration in pricing. Something to be key to, as we'll hear more and more about that. No doubt that'll be shared in the news. That'll be shared by people saying, gosh, prices aren't appreciating like they have been over the past several months, over the past year. What does this mean coming for real estate? Well, what we want to see is more inventory coming back into the market. No doubt across the country, we do not have a buyer issue. We've said that over and over and over. We have an inventory issue. And when we have less inventory in the market, it keeps that upward pressure on prices all over the country. The flip side of the coin of pricing is always equity. Adam Data came out with their third quarter equity report. 39.5% of the homes in this country are considered equity rich, meaning they have at least 50% equity. Big number there in equity rich homes across the country. Todd Teta, Chief Production Officer at Adam, said this: homeowners across most of the United States could sit back with a smile yet again in the third quarter to watch their balance sheets grow as soaring home prices push their equity levels ever higher. No doubt the byproduct of rising prices is rising equity. The question I would have for everybody right now is, do you know the value of your home? We talked about this several weeks ago in the PAIR report, the Preferred Equity Assessment report. Getting in front of homeowners right now, this is what your home is worth. This is the equity. Do you want to leverage that equity in the future to sell your home, to trade up, to maybe move down, depending on what your needs are? So no doubt that is the state of pricing and equity across this country. And we've seen tremendous price appreciation this year. Last week I talked about Kate doing the forecast, not as much appreciation forecasted going into next year, but still heavy appreciation, still a great real estate market. I mentioned we were the 15th of November today. As we wind down towards the end of the year, I wanted to give you this. Jimmy Mackin, CEO of Curator, tweeted this advice: want to get more listings in 2022? Make more investments in your future. Then he mentioned 4 areas in which to invest, maybe to challenge you today and how you're wrapping up the year and thinking about making investments between here and the end of the year. Invest in your agents and administrative staff. So my question to you is, how are you investing in agents you're working with, your administrative staff? You say, I'm solo. Okay. There are people you work with that you can invest in and help them. Invest in video content, advertising, and social. Certainly an area growing that as you make investments towards the end of the year, or at any time for that matter, you can invest in making great videos, putting great content out there like what we're talking about, advertising and social. Investing in creating a world-class experience. How are you going to create a world-class experience for your clients as you wrap up this year? That's the question. How are you going to create a world-class experience for the clients you serve? And last, invest time in becoming the market expert. I don't have to ask you about that because that's why you're on the deep dive every week. You're investing time to become your market's expert. Take what we did today talking about prices and bring the price conversation locally to where you're serving, the clients that you're serving. Talk about what's happening nationally in prices, but what's happening locally with prices, no doubt, is our job as experts in our market. You know, as always, I love coming on the deep dive on Monday mornings to get our week started. Jessica, you are monitoring everybody on. We have any questions coming out of today's deep dive?
Only one question this morning from Tamara, and she asked, is Virginia considered South Atlantic or Mid-Atlantic?
Mid-Atlantic, yes. So in that map, I would consider Virginia Mid-Atlantic in there, and absolutely. So good question, Tamara. It's always good to have you on just down the road in Alexandria. Love having you on each morning. So as we wrap up here, next week we'll be on just like every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Invite somebody to join the deep dive. We'd love to have them on there. Always love having everybody on the deep dive and covering the topics that we cover. So grateful for you, grateful for having you on this morning. We'll wrap up on that and we'll see you back next week. Take care.